Yo, we're live. Just finished up the last snow blower of the season, and hopefully we'll get to start working on mowers and blowers and chainsaws and things like that. So, anywho, see who's out there. We had a great stream yesterday. It was a phenomenal stream. Talked about small engines for most of the stream, which is the reason I do this. And yeah, so hopefully we get some more people want to chat. Let's see. We were talking about the GX25. If TGM is out there, we had our friend Tom, Vintage Engine Repairs in Australia, look up the GX25 engine and the particulars about the lube system and how it works, and it's pretty cool because we figured out exactly how it works, and you can operate it at any angle, even though it's a 4-stroke engine. And pretty cool design, the way they use pressure and vacuum in the crankcase to keep everything lubricated. But we have a little WhatsApp forum. Some of us, there's like 8 or 10 of us, and Tom posted a picture of it on there, and it's pretty cool. I'll see if I could share screen later, and then we could talk about it. But I like the idea of it. It's a really cool idea. Let's see. Let me grab the link and post that out there. Let's see if anybody's watching. John Perks. Hello, John. CHLV. There's the link for the StreamYard. I got myself a cup of tea because I've been going at it since about 6 this morning, so a little break time. Mac 210. Hello, Mac. How are you? Today in the store, they had Irish soda bread. That time of the year. Love Irish soda bread. Easter time. I love it. Anywho, we'll see if any of the regulars want to come up and say hi. But I was working on a Toro, what they call a power shift, 820, I think it's an 826, 26 wide basket, 8 horsepower Tecumseh. But it had the power shift feature where you can shift the wheels back and forward about 8 inches. This way you're changing the center of gravity of the machine, and it's pretty cool. Hey, Wayne.
Kenny.
What's going on?
Not much. Finally got rid of one of our last snowblowers.
I just finished my last one 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, this is one that the guy had bought and just came and finished off his payment and picked it up today. It was nice to get it out of here. I need the room for riding mowers.
Absolutely. You keep busy now with mowers or what?
He's got what's he got? First 2 riding mowers, 1 more to pick up. Got an aerator coming in tomorrow for service. And we'll see how the rest of the month goes.
Cool.
So for all of these people that are watching today that are going out to buy a mower since spring is coming up, my recommendation is buy one from a dealer. Don't get one at a big box store because the dealer is going to let you know how to run it, and he's going to be able to service it. When you buy it at a big box store, if something goes wrong with the warranty, if they actually fill out the registration card and get it warranted, which a lot of customers don't do, I know. But normally when you buy it from the dealer, they'll do the registration right there for you. And if a big box store, let's say you did warranty it, well, the big box store doesn't do the work on it. So what do you got to do? You got to take it to a warranty dealer. And if the dealer sells that equipment, guess what? Yours is going at the back of the line. They're not doing the big box store warranties first. They're going to do their customers that bought those machines off them first.
Yeah. Now, are you and Jake authorized to do warranty work?
Not really. But we have done warranty work for MTDs.
How much?
And only because we're registered with them to buy parts, so we're like an aftermarket dealer for them kind of thing. But we're not warranty certified, but they did give us the approval to do certain warranty work on some equipment that came in. Now, whether that was because we could get it done within a short period of time,
Yeah.
versus the regular person that had the warranty certification. I'm not too sure.
Michael Roberts. What? No church? This is church, Mike. This is church. Anywho, any fights going on or what? What's going on?
Actually, last night I watched the UFC started at the main was at 4, so I watched that. Then I watched Jake Paul's fight last night on boxing. That was a late card, and then the main event got canceled on that.
Huh.
And last night they had Game Bred Bare Knuckle, but I couldn't get the stream on that. They weren't streaming it, but I watched it this morning on YouTube. And Bare Knuckle, I missed the 2 p.m. fights yesterday for Bare Knuckle, and I just see that's up on YouTube now.
Interesting. Oh, I just got a notification. I think Dick just put out a video. Our friend Dick, let's see what we got here. Yeah, Dick Small Engine just uploaded a short. So everyone that wants to check out our friend Dick over in the UK. Oh, yeah, like I said, it's Toro. It wasn't a bad repair. Basically, someone had put in a green aftermarket seat instead of the factory Tecumseh white seat. And it was so sloppy in there, it leaked. It may have sealed on the needle, but it didn't seal around the bore that it fit in.
Oh, okay.
So it was dripping like crazy. When I put the Tecumseh tool in, like the crochet hook to pull it out, it like fell out. It was like barely even in. Usually got to press them in. I put a little oil around the outside of them usually when I push them in. So I knew something was wrong. And then once I got it assembled, I sort of freaked out because it would drip. Even after I put the new needle in, it would drip like every 3 or 4 seconds. What it was the drain, the little black rubber inside the float bowl that for the old Tecumseh drain, that was leaking slightly. So I ended up taking the carby off just to verify. I hung it gravity fed with fuel just to see. Then I saw that little drip come off the drain where you push it. I'm like, son of a gun. So I ended up putting on a new black washer inside there, and customers coming sometime this afternoon to pick it up, and it'll be the last blower of this season. So, but and interestingly, this power, I don't know if you've ever worked on the Toro power shifts where the wheels go back and forth 8 inches.
No.
Yeah. In second gear is the shifting where you hold it in the forward position in second gear. The whole machine will go boom forward or boom back, and the axle is on a pivot, and it'll pivot 8 inches, so it shifts the center of gravity so that if you're going up a hill, it won't go like this on you and fall back. It'll put all the weight at the front, so you can go up hills and stuff. It's really good. It's a great design. I don't know why they didn't. The reason I think they stopped doing it, all the linkages are like 30, 40 pieces of plastic. And over time they break, and not cheap to replace and fun to. It's all springs and plastic levers and gears, but when it works, it works. It's really nice. Yeah. I got an email
today. Where's Hank today?
I talked to him this morning. From when we were at Duchess, and this guy here, I talked to him and Stella for quite a few hours today while I was doing the repair. He posted on the WhatsApp. We were talking in yesterday's chat about the GX25 engine, and our friend TGM in England had said that you could run it at any orientation, even though it's a 4-stroke. And we were like, well, explain that to us. Well, Tom actually went in there and took some photos that he found online of how it actually works. And it looks like it uses the pressure and vacuum generated in the crankcase by the piston downstroke and forces oil mist all over the thing, and that's how it stays oiled when you rotate it all different orientations. Pretty cool setup.
So TGM was right on when he said it's a misting lubrication.
Well, I don't know if it's misting per se, but the speed at which the two flingers are flinging, they don't fling off the connecting rod, they fling off the crankshaft. And the speed at which they're flinging may create a mist. But when I think of mist, I think of a pump misting, like out of an orifice. I don't think of splashed being misted. But that's what it is. But it worked pretty good. Yeah. Who is this guy? You know this guy?
Fedor. Oh yeah, he's the emperor. They called him the emperor.
Now that's the fighting that you watch?
No. Fedor's
No.
retired now. He does a lot of training of the heavyweights out of Russia. Well, more than heavyweights, but he was a heavyweight
boxer,
MMA fighter.
Oh, okay, cool.
So yeah, he's famous.
Yeah, interesting. It's funny how someone in Australia is watching the same thing that you're watching in Canada. You know?
Yeah.
So, cool. So what's it like there today, weather-wise? Pretty warm.
Not bad. It's supposed to be. I think Lori said on Tuesday it's going to be 18 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, because today, right now,
it's... Oh, wait a minute. She's yelling at me, Kenny.
I mean, look at this. This is what's here now, Wayne.
62 Fahrenheit. Lori, what'd you say? Oh, they downgraded it to 13 degrees now.
Well, here's Celsius. Here's what I am right now.
Yeah, beautiful.
It is ridiculously warm out.
Yeah, it's mild out there today. I got to get a rider up and clean under the deck and remove the blades and sharpen it for another guy.
It's just, John Deere 210. I like those, the 2 series, 210, 212, 214, 216. Good tractors. Good tractors. They have a variator lever, so you can actually use that like a creeper for a high-low. So decent tractors.
So is he asking how to take it off?
How to take off pulley transmission on a 210. Those pulleys, if I'm not mistaken, are this way. Usually on those, I mean, I use an air chisel and heat it up a little bit and use an air chisel to take them off. But I'm trying to think those if they have set screws. I haven't looked at. Have you looked at the service manual, Don? Because the actual John Deere service manual for the 200 series has a phenomenal instruction on exactly how they come off. I probably haven't taken off one of those transmission pulleys in 20 years. I'm usually working on the engines, not as much as the trannies on those. But it's a transaxle, but I believe the pulley is, I'm trying to think which way it is on those. I think it's this way. But the service manual, if you go to like Manuals Live or one of those places and look up John Deere 200 series service, really, really good pictures and all that stuff. Or just type in 200 series John Deere lawn and garden tractor transmission pulley and see what comes up. I have 3 bolts on the pulley. How to take off? Can you get to the 3 bolts or you can't get to them? What's the issue, Don? Because sometimes there's guards in the way, there's belts in the way, things like that. I'm trying to think. Let me do a quick Dr. Google search and see if I can see something. I haven't worked on one of those trannies in so long. Hold on. 210.
Yeah, we don't do any transmission work here. We'll service them on the 0 turns.
Yep. Now, are you talking the intermediate? Because there's 2. There's an intermediate pulley and then the one on the transaxle. Which one are you talking about? Because there's the intermediate. That's the, what you call it? The high-low on that. Let's see. Let me see what I can find on Dr. Google here. Hold on. Oh, here we go. It'll look like this, Don. Pulley with the 3 bolts. Let's see. I want to change the pulley on the transmission. Are you changing it because it's worn out, or you want to get a different speed ratio and you're changing the diameter? Because I know a lot of guys try and get them faster and slower and all that stuff. Let me see if there's something that shows that. Let me look in videos, see if there's a video on that. 210 trans pulley replacement. Let me see what's going on there.
He said it's a bad pulley.
Oh, bad pulley. Okay. I'm looking online right now and see 300, 200.
Now, is it a bad pulley because somebody else was fooling around and tried to pull it off and bent it? I find that a lot on snowblowers.
Yeah, or is it just worn where the V groove goes in so far and all that? Let's see. No. Yeah, too bad I don't have the service manual handy because it's a fantastic service manual. Good pictures, good everything. Hold on. Wait, I'm just going to look up 210 transaxle. Hold on. Let's see. Here. 210 Transaxle. All right, so it is a horizontal pulley. Oh, you're thinking, how do you get it off? Because there's no way to get a wrench in there, I think. There's the fender pan. You have to take the fender pan off, if that's your question. Yeah, if I remember correctly, I think you have to take the fender pan off to get to it to make it easier. Yeah, a lot of those things, when the fender pan goes on and there's the battery in back of it or whatever, it's right against the pulleys. There's no way you're going to get them off. Yeah. If
like the variable speed pulleys on the MTDs.
Oh my God,
that
nut stupid bar. Right, yeah, that bar.
The bar. Yeah. It just kills me. Eh? They put the bar right halfway over the nut.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, is that what you're saying there? I think that's what you're saying. I know in a lot of cases, I just take the fender pan off, and it makes life a lot easier on those. Let's see.
It's like working on a car engine nowadays. In the old days, you could step inside the fender and work on the engine because you had all kinds of room and clearance.
Oh yeah, my 55 Chevy.
An engine today, you have a hard time getting your hand in there to remove a spark plug.
Well, after you take off all the plastic covers and what's under there, you know. Yeah, next to the frame. What I've used in a case like that, I've used crow's feet. I've used. I have one of those ratchets that are one of those wrenches, the speed wrenches that's chain driven internally, where you hook it up to like a ratchet on one side and the chain drives it on the other side. So it's called a sidewinder. And that way you can get in there and it'll actually take it off without having to go in there with a ratchet or something. But in a lot of cases, I know you said the frame, but a lot of cases, I'm trying to think, the fuel tank is back there and the fender pan is back there. Isn't it the black fuel tank that covers that? It's been so long since I worked on one. I know it's next to the frame, but I'm wondering, there's usually, you take off the fender pan, there's a black fuel tank on there for the 200 series. And then I think if you take the fuel tank off, then everything's exposed. Yeah, thin long wrenches too. But sometimes though, you can loosen the bolt and then it hits the frame or something and you can't get the bolt out. So you can loosen it, but then it hits. Sometimes, honestly, 4 bolts that hold the transaxle in, take out the 4 bolts, drop the transaxle. Yeah. Seriously. It may be easier just to do that. See how the transaxle mounts? If it's 4 or 5 bolts, loosen those and just drop it 3 inches and get in there that way. I've done that.
A lot easier.
Yeah. But how to remove it off the transmission? That after the 3 screws come out, it really shouldn't be a press fit or anything on there. It's a large hole in the center, and it shouldn't really be a tight fit unless it's rusted on something. I mean, normally I will take like a muffler air chisel with a blunt tip on it and just go around it, and it'll loosen it up where you can just pull it off, you know. It should come right off. I mean, that pulley should come right off. There's the 3 screws, and I think there's like a 2.5-inch hole in the center that goes on to the shaft, the input shaft, if I'm not mistaken. Let me call it that train again, see what it looks like.
I remember the one day Jake was working on steering linkage or something on a John Deere, I think it was. Mm-hmm. And he said, shit, I need an 11/16 stubby, and we haven't got one. Mm-hmm. I went and grabbed a used lawnmower blade, zipped one out, measured it with the verniers, gave it to him, and worked like a charm.
Let's see. Here we go. Okay, yeah, because here's what I remember too. It says right on here, you must remove the pulley, the 3 bolts, to the transaxle to remove the belt. Yeah, I remember that. You have to remove the pulley. Actually, I would take 2 of the bolts off, loosen the 3rd one, pull it out, and rotate it on that 3rd bolt so it stays located. Because sometimes trying to align them blindly is not fun. Let me see. Is there a pulley? Yeah, it says right here, there isn't enough room between the edge of the pulley and the axle to get the bloody thing out. Let's see if someone answered it. Hold on. Did anyone answer it?
Yeah, a lot of times they use the frame of the equipment or something else in there to act as a belt keeper.
Yep. Yeah.
So they put it in there so it's a tight fit. So you gotta get the pulley off.
Yeah. Are you trying? I know you said you're changing the pulley. I'm just trying to think. Is there enough space to get? Because I remember doing that years ago when the pulley, the heads of the bolts were so close to the frame that you really couldn't, get them out easily. Like I said, I wish I had the service manual here. It's a hell of a service manual. They got a lot of good pictures in there. Yeah, there's just a little shoulder on that. I'm trying to think. Hey, Tim Palmer, how you doing, Tim? Timmy is here. How you doing? Trying to see if there's a download for the 200 series service manual. Let's see. I had so much of that stuff online saved in old computers. I don't even. They're probably in some old hard drive somewhere. Let's see. Series service. Let's see what comes up. Oh yeah, here we go. Go to wfmfiles.com. That's Weekend Freedom Machines. That's the John Deere Lawn and Garden Tractor site that I'm a member of, but you don't have to be a member, and you could download the service manual. Awesome. So www.wfm, Weekend Freedom Machine, wfmfiles.com, and then you could look up the 200 series service manual, and it's a phenomenal manual. And the link takes you right to, there's the service manual. It takes you right to it. Look at everything you need. Look at that. Every picture, all 246 pages are there for free. So what I'll do, let me email myself the link right now and I'll put it in the chat and you can click on it. So copy, we put it in the chat.
And just think of the old days when they had to store all the service manuals.
Oh my God, I have a rack. Just like remember the auto parts stores?
Yeah,
it was a 100-foot wide rack of manuals.
Yeah,
parts lists. Yeah,
thousands of pounds of books.
Oh yeah. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Where is my live? There we go. So I'm going to go in there, paste, boom. All right. Right there, there's the link. Click on that link. The service manual will come up. It'll tell you everything you need to know about the 200 series Deere, all 240 something pages of it.
Yeah, I think Jake's only got the MTD service manual set up on our computer.
Well, I said, when I started getting into this shit years ago, my big thing was International Harvester Cub Cadet. I was part of ihcubcadet.com and all that stuff. But I also did a lot of engines, the K-Series engines for the John Deere groups, the 100s, the 120s, 110s, 140s, that kind of thing, which has the K-Series. And with the 200 series is newer. That took off after the Quiet Line series that International came out with the side panels on the tractors, when they started using the AC stator and versus the starter generator. When they use Bendix starters to compete with the International Harvester Cub Cadet Quiet Line series, Deere came out with the 200 series. And honestly, the 200 series had better steering. You could actually put a suicide knob on a 200 series and literally one hand and it steers like nothing. Whereas on a Cub Cadet, for some reason, it's not the easiest steering, especially if you have a snowblower hanging out front or something like that. So, but yeah, at WFM, Weekend Freedom Machines. If you're into those tractors, just type in Weekend Freedom Machines. The link will come up. There is so much on that website. I mean, anything you ever want to know. And you'll probably, if you do a search for me, you'll see me in there, because I've been like a technical question guy for years on that site. It's been a while since I've been there, but I joined that site back in 2000. And I was on it like every day for years. Great site. Yeah, but Bill, it's just a matter of having done it for the past 24 years, having someone bring something to you. I'll never forget the first 200 series I worked on was a 214. The guy wanted me to, it was my friend's uncle. He wanted me to rebuild the engine. He had parked on a hill and where his mailbox was, let it idle really low, like potato. It was on an angle. The oil level wasn't that good. And he threw a rod.
Yeah.
And he said to me, he goes, I don't know what's wrong with my engine. I said, well, the engine's locked up. Luckily, he threw the rod, but it didn't put a hole in the block. So I was able to just clean up the aluminum transfer on the crankshaft and put a new rod in it. But when I put it back together, that's when I discovered the fun stuff about, those pulleys, because he wanted all the belts replaced and everything else. And yeah, it is fun. But that manual in that link, great pictures, and it shows you everything you need to know. So that's all. Yeah, but good thing we got Mr. Google. I mean, you could basically look up anything. But then again, everybody uses like, what is it, Manuals Live and all those other manual type websites where you can get manuals and parts lists and stuff. So there's all kinds of ways to find stuff, just like my old boss told me years ago. As an engineer, you don't have to know everything, but you need to know how to find it.
Yeah, true enough.
That's it. It's funny because you could be the best engineer in the world. When someone needs an answer, you don't have to know it in your head, but know where to get it fast. That's
absolutely.
And that's why people pay us a certain amount of dollars per hour. It's to pay for our experience, our lessons learned. And that's, people say, oh, why you charge so much? Okay. Did you know how to fix it? No. Well, how much is it going to cost you to learn how to fix it?
Well, you'd be surprised how many lawnmowers we get in for repair that the customer has previously taken it to the guy that advertised $60. On the internet, he's got an ad that says $60 full service, right? And he's including everything, right?
For a push or a rider, what is it?
For say a push mower, it's $60, right? Yeah, and he's going to do it for $60, no taxes. But when they bring it in here, it's got, the guy doesn't have the right springs on the carburetor. The governor spring's been like he's taken an extension spring. And put it on instead of the proper governor spring. And like not a lot of people realize the governor springs are specifically engineered for that amount of tension.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're specific. You just can't take any spring and put it on a governor arm.
Well, look at case in point, a Honda GX160. If you don't have that Honda spring on there, it ain't going to run right.
Right. No, exactly.
I've had aftermarket. I bought an aftermarket spring for the Honda. I think it was a 16th of an inch shy or whatever. It didn't run right.
No,
it's crazy.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh man. So you said fights tonight or no?
No, none tonight. No, there's some on YouTube that were on yesterday that I didn't catch. Yesterday was just fight night on everything. Everybody was fighting.
Did Rick come up or just you guys?
Who?
Chubby.
No. He's got a bad knee problem now. I think he's scheduled for a knee operation mid-April. And he's hoping there's a cancellation that he can get in early. He's got a bad back and his knees bother him, his hips bother him.
Now you guys have to wait, right, with that national health care.
Oh man. Right? Hey, I got an MRI scheduled for my chest, like instead of chest x-rays, just to check out my lungs.
Yeah.
And I think that was booked. I think it's like 8 months.
Wow. See, with us, I could call up today and get in tomorrow.
Yeah,
we're paying for it.
Right, but I could call the States and book something in the States and travel the 20, 30 miles, whatever it is, to get it done, but it's going to cost me $800 Canadian.
There you go.
But I think what's happened is, that the governments just haven't, like, we've got so many hospitals that have closed down. And we've got a brand new one being built. They built a new one in St. Catharines, and they're building one just outside of Niagara Falls now. Yeah. Gigantic hospital. But number one, we don't have enough doctors. I forget how many people in Ontario don't have family doctors. We're lucky we finally got one.
Yeah.
Lori and because ours retired, and I think we went 4 or 5 months before a new doctor moved into Port Colborne that was taking patients.
Yeah, mine retired last October, I think it was. So I technically don't have one right now. There's a group that I belong to, and I'm sure if I walked in, they'd look at my 30-year history with them and just assign me someone. But with him gone, I don't have one.
We have to go on. Yeah, we have to go on a list, and Lori's on some medication that she needs prescriptions for. So we're lucky we got another doctor, and this guy happens to be fairly young.
No problem, Don. Anytime. But I was on with Tom before, and I'm trying to get a picture. Let me see if I can get a picture of that GX25. Hold on a second. Because Tom had a real nice picture of the crank. There we go. Let's see what I can do. Let's see. Let me see if I could zoom in on it.
And my buddy Brian from 5 Star, he just came to pick up some plugs, and it was funny. He said to me, he called me up last night and he asked me if I had some NGK plugs for, small handheld equipment. And he just showed up and picked them up. And he said, it's really weird. He said they had torch plugs in them. They used to run. As soon as I put brand new plugs in that I got from you the last time, they fired right up. So I figured I'd try it. He just called me up and he said, yep, that's exactly what it was. It's the torch plugs in there.
Yeah. Oh, yep. Yeah, they're known for that. Let me see if I can share screen. I got the picture of this thing. Hold on. Go in there. StreamYard. Let's see. Present.
Yeah, Bloodbath, that's big pay-per-view coming up on the 9th. That's Sean O'Malley headlining the main.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Pictures. I just had the thing. Where the heck is it? History. I just had the picture up on my screen. Where did I do with it? I had a picture of that crankshaft. Hold on. GX. Oh, here we go. GX25. Somebody in the basement? Hold on. Hey, there we go.
Big dog.
How you doing?
All right.
What is going on? Today's Sunday, and I was working out in my shed, and then I saw this pop up, and I said, "What is this?"
Yeah, same thing happened to me. I was in the shop, and I says, "Oh, look at that! Kenny's just going to shoot the breeze on a Sunday."
Yeah. I'm trying to see if I can share this picture. Let me see. Present, share screen.
Henry, you know how you're getting old? You want to know how to really know you're getting old? Yesterday when I was in the shop, I looked over and there was a hat, and I grabbed the hat. I put the hat on. I said, shit, this hat's too tight. I got to open it up, right? I put it on. I came on the live stream. It was Jake's hat. He says, didn't it kind of strike you that it might not be your hat when you put it on and it was too tight? I said, that's what happens when you get old, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. There's that crankshaft, the GX25.
Oh, yeah. All right.
And it's got two flingers on the bottom that are working off the crankshaft to actually belt drive. And if you notice, you got the bearings and the counterweights and everything, and those two slingers actually, create, I guess, a mist of oil off of like a dry sump pan. It's not a full sump. The full sump where you fill the oil is on the other side. That acts like a dry sump system as far as the amount of oil, just a thin amount, and it flings the hell out of it. And the piston, when it comes down, the pressure it pressurizes the crankcase with pushes the oil up through a tube. Hank, you were asking how it gets to the rocker arms. There's a tube that goes from the crankcase up to the rockers and push rods, and then there's another tube leading from there back down into the sump. So it uses the crankcase pressure to pressurize and push mists of oil up through the tube into the rocker area, then down another tube and back to the crankcase. It's a full pressure as far as pressurizing, not pressurized oil, but pressurizing, so the mist created travels up a tube and down a tube. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, kind of cool. Kind of cool.
So did Mark show up, or Mick? Yeah, Mick, right? Not Mick, Mark.
No, Mick Hardy. What do you mean, yesterday? No, this is TGM that was like, oh, there he is. Look at that. He's here. There you go. Yeah, speak of the devil.
Hey,
speak of the devil. There we go. Yeah, TGM. We're just explaining. Our friend Tom explained to us. He actually has one of these engines he's taken apart, where those two little flingers on the end of the crankshaft create they say mist. Is it really a mist? No, it's just like if you took a spoon and went real quick, you're gonna create a mist, But then the pressure coming down from the piston pressurizes that crankcase, and there's a tube that goes up to the upper rocker arms and everything, and then another tube that goes back down to this sump area. So kind of cool.
Well, what's the running RPM on that engine? On that?
The 4-strokes are usually about 6,000, I think. They don't run as high as a 2.
Yeah, so imagine the amount of oil that thing's heating.
It's just the only time I've ever worked on one of those engines is on a Mantis tiller, and I think that's what they were talking about. I know what's his name was talking about it. Mick Hardy was talking about why is he getting smoke out of the Mantis GX25 engine, and now Tom is going to take one of these engines that he has. Yeah, oily air, basically. Yep. He's going to take one of the engines that he has and turn it upside down, physically upside down, and see if it smokes. See if the orientation matters in this system, just so we could see it, Yeah. So I haven't used the cheap Chinese ones, but you know what? A lot of the Chinese knockoffs of the New Way cutters and stuff like that, hey, for the price, try it. What the hell? I don't know if the carbide used in the Chinesium ones are as good as like a New Way brand. I mean, you may make a few cuts and then it chips because it's a cheap carbide. But like I said, $300 for the New Way versus $60 for a generic. Hey, try the generic. What the hell?
Yeah.
That's all.
I know on the one repair that we had, normally, like a lot of the valves are cut at 45 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And on this one, I think it was, I'm trying to remember.
The cutters, though, the cutters are set at 46, so you get a 1 degree interference.
Yeah.
So you get that tangential line of sealing, so you don't have to lap them on a fresh cut.
But on this one engine Jake was working in, it was like 43.5 degrees or something. And he was, whatever it was, he was going to go out and order the cutter.
Yeah.
And we actually made a phone call to, I think it's called Precision Machining in Niagara Falls. They actually recut the seat and checked the brand new valve that we had ordered. And I think the total bill was $40. That included the tax. It was cheaper than us ordering the cutter.
What kind of engine was it, though?
I forget. We're going back like 8 years, buddy. This guy's got a hard time remembering what he ate yesterday.
Yeah.
and we actually gave them the new valve too, and they checked the valve, and the valve was out by 0.02 of an inch, supposedly, when they had spun it.
Oh, just round.
They just checked the valve for us, and they cut the seat, and they fitted it, and they, like, for $40, you couldn't do it.
No, you can't even look at it for that. I know a lot of times, even aftermarket valves, even good ones, when you buy them, they always say, for example, I'm grinding, because I have a valve grinder. When you're grinding in the 45 degree on a small engine valve, they say, grind a 30 degree first underneath it, just as a test to see how true the 30 degree is. If the band is true, that means the valve itself is concentric and you won't have any problems, Hey, look who's here. Klaus.
What's
going on?
Hey, Wayne. Hank.
Hey, Klaus.
How you doing?
What's up?
Yeah, there's a 3 elk nut there. You can use the 3 angle, and I've done the 3 angle where you do the 15, the 45, and the 60, or the 30, the 45, and 60. Is it 100% needed on that? No, but by using the 3 angles, you can make the 45 or 46 in the center exactly the width that Kohler calls out in the manual. They'll actually call out the triple angle, and they want you to hold the center band to a specific tolerance. And by undercutting and overcutting with the 30 and the 60 degree cutters, you can get that 45 degree band. So it is handy. What do you got, Hank?
Well, this is what I sent him to get rid of your to Mick Hardley, and and let's see, can I get it to play?
Yeah, I see it. Do you want to send me that photo and I'll put it up? I'll blow it up.
Well, it's a video.
Oh, okay, all right. Oh, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
Perfect.
that's good.
Perfect. Yeah. And imagine that, like you said, 6,000 RPM.
Yeah.
Put the link in the WhatsApp, and I'll post it up here.
But what lubricates the valve train?
It goes through a tube. The crankcase gets pressurized by the downstroke of the piston. That pressure takes whatever mist is in there and forces it through a tube that goes up to the upper chamber. Then there's another tube from the upper chamber that returns it to the crankcase.
Ah.
You can see it up there. It was
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, interesting.
It looks pretty cool. Well,
Yeah, kinda cool.
Honda has always been thinking about things, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Interesting.
Sure.
Mr. Clem, come on up, John.
Yeah. John, come on up.
Hello, John.
It's like I said, 62 here. It's crazy. What's it your way, Hank?
Oh, it's warm out here. I don't know exactly. Where it is.
Did you get your bulbs in?
No, because the ground is too wet, and dahlias they
I
will
got you.
rot if they're.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aren't we supposed to have rain this week too? I thought we were supposed to have some rain. Yeah.
3 days out of the week. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're saying rain. Oh yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday. Oh wow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Oh my God, almost every day rain. Wow.
Close. What are you doing? Drying out today?
No, I've been. I finished off my little shop press / move around. Let me show you.
64 degrees.
Yeah, 63 here.
Okay, I'm going to send this to you, Ken.
Stole the idea right out of Bruce Pender.
Aha. So now it's a press / chop station, or
Yes.
Good idea.
Up and down the shop press, put a plate on top, and put my chop off saw for metal on top. So now and then wheels on it. So now I can wheel it around.
nice.
I will have to go down on my knees to use the shop press, but hey, I don't use that. So yeah.
But that press, that would have been normally that would have been a bench mounted press.
No.
He put wheels on it. Normally, it just stands on the ground.
I cut this much off its height.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, floor mount. Yeah, normal floor mount.
Yeah. So yeah, it's. I think it'll do. It'll do.
Yep.
And then I've been working on 2 chainsaws today. An older MS-201 from Steel, and right now I'm just about finishing off a 036.
Yeah. Oaknut, I have a video on that in my Smoking Kohler K series. The last video I did shows me using the new way cutters. So if it'll be the same basic process as what you're going to do. So check out that video, Smoking Kohler K series. You'll see it.
So yeah, a couple of small 2-strokes. Nice to be back in those. And yeah. And I will say the older steel chainsaws, the Pro Saws, they are so much more fun to work on. There's room, and everything makes sense, and it's not super compacted. It was the carburetor. I actually never seen that carburetor before. It's a Sama, but it's called a C. Hold on.
C1Q or C1U?
No, C3A. C3A. Yeah. Repair kit is an RB31.
Let's see what that looks like.
Now your cutoff saw over that carbide teeth.
Like an 034 saw.
Say again, Wayne.
Carbide teeth on that cutoff saw.
I would think so, because it goes through. I mean,
that's for steel, right?
Yeah. I mean, look, and
nice
I haven't even deburred it.
Yeah,
and it doesn't get hot or anything. And it goes right through it. It's quite
way better than the abrasive cutoffs.
Oh yeah,
rust all over the place.
Oh yeah, it does kick off a lot of shavings.
Yeah,
it does, and they're big and they're sharp. But other than that, it's pretty great.
Pretty great. Yeah.
Okay, I just put it in the link, Ken.
Cool. Oh, there you go.
Thanks, Hank. Yep. Hey,
a clean workshop just means that you're doing what you're supposed to do. Clean it up.
I try, but I get interrupted.
Yeah, Jake does that to me all the time, Hank. Comes in and interferes with my work mode. chews me out for having the bench all filled with tools. I said, where else am I supposed to put them? I know where they are.
Yeah.
How's the Mustang coming?
He's there working on it today. He just took what he take? He took he's going to mix some 91 octane and 5 liters of the Aspen and put it into the gas tank. I think they're actually firing it up today.
Ooh, nice.
He was really mad. He ordered a full set of brand new ignition cables. He ordered the crimper. He crimped them all, and when he started to check out like the resistance on the ignition wires, it's supposed to be 50 ohms per foot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was getting readings of 1,500 ohms, 2,000 ohms. So out of the 8, he had 3 cables that were no good. So he figured it was on. So then when he cut his crimps off, he found out it was on the end that where it plugs into the ignition boot. It was there, likely the problem with their crimping that on. So he called up Summit Racing, and they actually sent him 4 brand new cables.
Oh, cool. Hey, Abel.
And he checked them out, and they all fell within the range of the 50 ohms per foot resistance. So he was going to crimp his spark plug boot ends on those. And then if they got those on today, test that to make sure that the resistance was still good, hook it up to the distributor, put the fuel in, and fire it up.
Oaknut, on the guides, do yourself a favor, though. I don't know if you're using existing valves, new valves, old valves, whatever. Put a little bit of oil on the valve stem, stick it in, put your finger over the valve guide, and pull the valve out. If you get that pop, like that whatever noise, that means they don't need to be sized. The clearance is good. So many people replace valve guides for no reason at all, especially in the K series. And they're cast iron on the K series. You have to use a press or a punch to punch them out and punch them back in again. And when you buy the guides from Kohler for the K series, you have to use an adjustable reamer or a 5/16 standard reamer. I have an adjustable one to size them for the right clearance. I use gauge pins and all that. If you don't have all that, like I said, lube up the valve stem, stick it in, put your finger under the valve guide and go pop. And if it gives you that, you do your mouth there, poop, that pop sound. If it sounds like that, there you go. Exactly. If it sounds like that, the valve stem clearance is good. So just try that first before you go to the trouble of knocking out the valve guides and putting in new ones, because it is a pain in the butt.
I was there a few minutes ago, and I was listening to you, Ken, and I was trying to push buttons to try to get on. Here's an idea with that crankcase I was watching you and listening to you guys talking about it. But here's an idea. These engineers must be really thinking about this, because with the way people don't maintain their equipment, I can see that being a failure, because those small oil passages will be packed up full of dirt, and that engine will be starving for oil in a short time.
I'm wondering what it calls out for oil too.
And I mean, oil velocity, I'm not sure what that would be, but
which one?
That GX25.
10W30.
Right, Abel?
10W30.
No, but what he's talking about is because people don't service their equipment, and they run it low and the oil's dirty.
Yeah.
Those small passages are not going to take long before they
You're right.
are not working properly.
You're right.
Then the engine's starving for oil, and then they need repair, which is good, but I don't know. Does the thing grenade at that point or what?
Yeah. No, I think that's why Klaus was right the other day when he said there's likely some blow by because the cylinder's got some score marks in it or something. Like, I'm pretty sure that's why the thing's smoking.
Yeah, or as Hank said, with the if you've got a leaky intake valve seal, that'll do something like that as well.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes engineers overreact and try to rebuild the wheel again. They've already built it once, but they're trying to get it more round.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a positive thing, I mean, if you're into for the part of the repairing of it, well, then that's it's gonna give you failure somewhere along the way. I could see that maybe working if they had some kind of way to put like an oil pump in it to make it under higher pressure, so that possibly the small journals that you were talking about and stuff wouldn't have the opportunity possibly to fill up. They would be able to, to keep them cleaned out. But if it's just small light mist of oil, I would think that would clog up.
But I will say, even the little GX, it has a 50-hour service interval. It's quite amazing. 50 hours on that little bit of oil that's in there.
And,
you have to
is it all synthetic, or is it?
No, just Honda's regular 1030. I think is dyno, to be honest, but I'm not sure. They don't tell you.
No, they don't.
But any 10W30 part synthetic will do the trick. Absolutely. Even a 5W30 full synthetic would do it. But it runs 50 hours on that small. That's quite amazing. I would change it more often.
I'm kind of a valve guy. I like Valvoline, but everybody likes different ones. But I've always been real impressed with Valvoline's oil.
Well, I mean, Valvoline is good oil. I mean, it's that those little engines, they care more about the base oil than the additives. So if you use a full synthetic, it doesn't matter what brand it is, as long as it's full synthetic. That if you want the benefit.
I was just curious about that, because when I heard you talking about, small mist of oil and small passageways and not much oil in the part where the slingers is at and stuff, I could say, that doesn't sound like, sounds like that's fixing to fail.
But again, I mean, it's a Honda, and Hondas are usually made to pretty good tolerances. So the amount of blow by you get even from a small GX25 is a lot less than it is on a standard Brix, for instance. That Brix has a lot of blow by.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Klaus. Now, even because it's a tiller, Mantis tiller, it's only used once in a while, maybe twice a year if you're lucky. Now, how many hours prior to the oil? I mean, it's not being used at 50 hours. That oil's still no good, right? After so many hours of sitting in it.
Honda actually says 50 hours or 6 months, whatever comes first.
Right.
Yeah.
So
the oil
that oil.
That's draws moisture, and it got moisture in it.
Moisture and
you got to change it if you're not running it.
Yeah, and it becomes acidic just from being used.
And then you lose. Right. I agree.
Yeah. So no, it's I mean, those little. I mean, the GX25 is actually the smallest four-stroke engine in serial production in the world, and they are great little engines. And if they run on a Mantis tiller, they are never overloaded, never, because that's a worm drive gear. That thing, I mean, it doesn't matter how thick of a clay you go into, there's still so much gearing in those that it'll never be overloaded. It'll be more overloaded on the trimmer.
Well, in Jake's 10 years of business,
is what you're saying, it would be more overloaded on it.
Yeah, it'd be more load. The engine would be more under load on a trimmer than on a Mantis tiller because of the gearing.
I could see that.
So sorry, Wayne, you were saying?
No, I was just going to say, out of the 10 years Jake's been in business, if I wanted to say how many lawnmowers we got in here, or small engines that we got in here that actually had clean oil in them, like, I mean, that wasn't in there for, like, let's say 3 or 4 years of use, is like, you could count it on one hand. But the ones that we have got in, and it's funny, they were owned by ladies that actually changed their own oil. Like, when we checked it, we'd call them up and we'd say, have you been changing your oil? Oh yeah, I change my oil all the time. Every year I change my oil. And just weird. It's always the ladies that are doing it. The guys, they don't give a shit, eh?
Yep. Hey, Hester. Dan. And John Clem is still lurking around there. John, come on up.
Now,
Yeah,
myself, I've
just
never
nailed you. Come on up.
personally, I've never really liked since they went to putting no drain sump on the bottom of any of these engines anymore. I mean, you got to suck it out. I mean, I got to pump that, but it's just
I did a test, Abel, on a riding mower, a Briggs engine, actually a side valve engine, where I suck out the oil and then afterwards take out the drain plug. And the only oil that comes out from sucking is whatever oil is in the threads of that plug. It empties it because the probe goes all the way down to where the oil would be let out. The same with the Hondas.
Yeah.
I mean, the evacuator or it does a pretty good job if you use it right. I've had a lot of comments. Some people say, "Oh, you can't use that. You don't get all the dirt out and blah blah blah." But yeah, in an antique, say Briggs engine or a Wisconsin or a Kohler, where they were all meant to run non-detergent oil, where they relied on the dirt to fall to the bottom, and then you could drain out. Yeah, I can see where the oil evacuator wouldn't be the best solution, but modern engines, that means 1970 and till now, no problem. RJI 120. What's that for?
RJ 120.
Kenny, can't hear you, Kenny. You're unplugged.
Yeah.
No, I can't hear you. Nope.
No.
No.
No?
Yeah, now.
Now?
Yes.
Okay.
You're good.
Oh, I mean, maybe this button here had a mute or something. Anyway, RJ12C.
Oh,
Okay.
12C.
And it was in the snowblower I worked on, which is a Tecumseh HMSK 80 Snow King 8 horsepower, which is generally a J19LM or an RJ19LM. Okay. And I'm like, what the hell is this doing in this blower? And I was chiming in before, and you guys, I thought you were ignoring me. I didn't know I was on mute. Because I'm talking, all you guys are talking like, what the F? But anyway, the dipstick was so stained black on both sides.
Yeah.
I had to Scotch-Brite the hell out of it to get it back where I could see the oil level.
Yeah.
That's how old and how long this oil's been sitting. I bet you it's been sitting 5 years.
Yeah.
That's when I used kerosene.
Oh my gosh. So anyway, I cleared it off, and it took 20 ounces, standard Tecumseh 20 ounce. But runs like the Dickens now, but I had a problem with it. Whereas the guy whoever had it before him, put in a green seat, like a rotary or a Stenz seat, and it didn't fit correctly. And although the needle itself may have sealed on the inner hole, it was so sloppy in the bore that fuel was coming out that way. So I replaced it. And after I replaced it, it had like a drop every 4 seconds. And I'm like, what is that? It was the black rubber disc inside the bowl for the drain, the spring-loaded drain. That was slightly leaking, not much. And that drove me crazy. And that's all it was. You flick it once or twice, then it stops. It won't leak anymore.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be a Stenz because I get a lot of Stenz stuff in. For the Tecumsehs, I think they're brown, and for the Briggs, I think they're white. I've never gotten in a green one.
Well, Briggs sells a green one for some of their horizontal engines.
Oh, yeah.
The flow jets, the big flow jet will have a green one in it. But this is, like I said, going into a Walbro LMT on a Tecumseh, you need the white Tecumseh seat,
Yeah.
So, and the reason I knew it, when I went with that crochet hook Tecumseh tool to pull it out, it literally fell in the hole and fell right out. Like you didn't have to push or pull.
Yeah.
It like fell right. So I knew it was sloppy, So I'm working the video on it now. My friend Tom turned me on to this thing called Luma Fusion, which is a video editor. I love it. I absolutely love it. So hopefully you'll see some quality videos from me coming up.
Well, they've been always pretty good, Kenny.
Yeah, but like I said, my editing sucks. I've been using the phone, and like, for example, I'll have videos that I've taken over the years that I still haven't published because there's 10 minutes of me getting a tool and I don't know how to edit it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Stupid stuff,
Jake does the editing. My
Yeah.
first video there was what, 20 minutes of video that had I think he edited it down to 6. And like a lot of stuff got thrown out, like Klaus's shout out got thrown out, Bruce's shot got thrown out because of my thumb or finger in the or the audio wasn't good or it was a blurred image. But I think he spent 2 hours videoing that or editing that 20 minutes.
Well, I think Condon was telling me that for every hour and a half video, he's got 10 hours into it.
Yeah.
You know, as far as
Now,
editing.
Jake gave me some tips. He told me from now on, when you do any video it in sections, like video a section, stop, then restart a new section. It makes his life easier when he's editing.
Yeah, instead of the whole one.
Yeah. Instead of me just rambling on and making mistakes and, you know, and him having to cut this and cut that and try to blend it in so it looks seamless.
Yeah. It's funny that Kenny says it's easier than the Movie Maker, because I've been doing Movie Maker and that's fine.
But I've never used Movie Maker. I'm just comparing it to my Sony Vegas that I have, which is more of a professional type software.
I think that's what Jake uses is likely Movie Maker. I think that's what he said.
What I use, and I only use about, I don't know, 10% of it, what it can do.
Hey, Morton.
I simply, hi, Morton. I basically just glue the clips together and gone. I mean, I don't edit a whole, unless I swear. If I hurt myself and I swear, I'll edit that out. But other than that, I don't.
Hester,
Amazon.
If you absolutely want a good one, buy the metal one that comes with the rubber disc in it that's replaceable.
Yeah.
You know, the metal shutoffs, they're about $10, $12 versus $3. So you get what you pay for.
But I use the plastic one from Stens. And
yeah, I mean, I've had luck.
I haven't had one leak yet. And
I've had some Stens leak, but I've been using my Mighty Vac to test them before I install them.
Yeah,
just to see if they hold like 5 psi. That's
I use Oregon ones. They're pretty good.
Oregon. Yeah. You've got a bunch of them.
You buy the Chinesium ones, 10 for $1. Yeah, they're gonna leak.
Yeah, don't
Same thing with the fuel filters that you buy on Amazon. Yeah. They come with those carb kits, you know, from HIPAA and that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, you put them on and they're gonna leak.
I've seen some of them where the fuel has actually deteriorated the filter material.
But that's what I had. I had one where the fuel, the element, the paper element, decoupled from the inside of the filter. It was floating in there, and all the fines and everything clogged up the carburetor. What a nightmare!
Yeah.
Look at that, Stella saying hi and bye, because she didn't realize you were out either.
Hi and bye, Stella.
Yeah, when you think about it, you look at some of these carbs they sell on Amazon, it's like $13 or $15, right?
Yeah.
In Canada, that box they ship it in costs that much money.
Yeah.
It's just for the cardboard.
My customer's headed over to pick up his snow thrower, so we'll see when he gets here.
Yeah.
All right. Money.
Money's good. Yep.
So, anywho.
Do any of you remember the old Bolins?
What, Ride-O-Matic or which one?
Yeah, the garden tractors, the one of the 1050s and stuff like that had.
They had the Bolins Husky, and all those. Yeah,
it had the Wisconsin engine in it.
Oh yeah, the original ones were green, the Ride-O-Matics, and then they went to the tan and white ones that were like the Husky with the white and red hood. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
I only did an oil change on a Wisconsin engine here once, because here, I mean, I know it's hard to get parts for them in the States. Here, it is impossible.
Oh, yeah.
So, I was tempted to buy a vintage Bolins.
What was that?
I was tempted to buy a vintage Bolins that was on Marketplace, but didn't have a deck. So without a deck, I wasn't buying it. But it was a nice looking machine.
Because their decks are fabricated; they're not stamped.
Yeah,
they were back in the day. They were a tank. I mean, they had a worm gear transmission.
Oh yeah, the rear end.
I mean, they were a stump pulling beast.
The good thing about that rear end with the worm gear was if you stopped, it wouldn't just roll away on you because it was actually a worm drive. Yeah.
I'm just going to run out and get some more coffee. I'll be right back.
Coffee?
But that's when they were made by FMC too. When FMC owned them.
Yeah, they were a good piece of equipment. I worked for back in that time era. I worked for dealer that was a Boland's dealer here, and I was one of the mechanics there for him. Me and another guy done the tractors, and then there was other ones in there that done push mowers and different stuff. But as far as I was concerned, they were a stump building machine. I mean, they were right up there with wheel horse in the back in the day.
Oh yeah, they're a good machine. Yeah.
Now now you was speaking about the decks and the decks on them and stuff. Now they were, if you didn't clean it and take care of it and get all the broccoli out of it, why then it'll rot out.
It's like anything else.
But the bearings and stuff in them were good, and they were a universal drive. They had a belt on the deck, and then it was universal drive between the tractor and the deck itself. With a power.
Hey, Hank, in the old days, you could take a 57 bumper and weld a patch to it. Nowadays, you burn right through it so thin.
What bumper? It's made out of plastic.
You can only tack weld it and build up your tack welds. Otherwise, you burn through the body metal.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Now they put a little beam there and then plastic cover.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
They were cast iron too. They weren't aluminum. They were cast iron motors.
Yeah.
Frames were all steel tube, steel tube framing on it. And then the front axle on them were all cast.
Well, check out Garden Tractor Boy. They rebuilt one. Recently. Really nice. Yeah, Garden Tractor Boy.
Joseph over in UK. Yeah. Yep.
That's all they do is rebuild the old tractors.
People don't realize though, lawn and garden versus lawn tractor, big difference. If the rear wheels have lugs and lug nuts and studs, that's a lawn and garden tractor with a real differential versus lawn and garden where it's got a key on the rear axle where you have a transaxle,
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of
ones that are bolted on with that one bolt, you can't get those tires off if you tried.
Yep.
Hi, John.
Hey, John.
How are y'all?
Yeah, too bad. Sunday afternoon. What are you working on? Anything?
I worked on a nap earlier. That's about it. I finished up my shop yesterday and didn't do anything today out there. So tomorrow I got to run some equipment around and go to an eye appointment. See if I need new glasses to see.
Yeah. Morton, I worked on the New Holland variant of it. It's the exact same tractor, but it's like a olive drab color that New Holland put out before Ford bought them. But Aaron's made them the same tractor, garden tractor. Yep, good tractor.
Yeah, we had a pretty big size distributor here for Aaron's back in the day too, here in Indiana. But they have since went away too. They used to be pretty big here.
Yeah, we had an Aaron's dealership here in Niagara Falls, and they closed down. And shit, I don't know how far. I think we got to go pretty far away to get an Aaron's here.
Yeah,
and they're top of the line equipment. Like still to this day, good equipment: lawn mowers, riding mowers, snow blowers, made in the U.S. of A.
I have an Aaron's zero turn and love it.
Yeah, the GT16. It's a good tractor, the Aaron's GT16. Kohler K-Series K341.
You pay for it. It ain't like going in and buy your Dynamark. If you don't pay for it, if you want a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, but you look at the price differential between like an Aaron's and like say a Cub Cadet. It's like there's not that much difference.
Now you talking about a true Cub Cadet, or you talking about today's day?
Well, today's they got that EFI, so you don't have to do any carburetor work. Yeah, you don't have to do any carburetor work. You got to go and get a bank loan to buy the modules if you can get them, if they're not out of stock.
And the computer
to
check it.
Yeah, like imagine a dial to control the speed. Come on, give me a break. What was wrong with the old cable?
Yeah.
Right.
There's a message for you, Hank.
For me? Oh, big guy.
Yeah.
I think welded today came out and well.
Yeah, it's the porosity in the casting.
Yeah, you gotta be real clean.
Have you seen a recent video of Terrell when he was fighting with the deer?
Oh, I saw that one.
Onan engine on it.
Oh, the
yeah.
Onan
Yep.
on that old one. Yeah.
That had the Onan engine on it. He was
Yeah.
he had been trying to get that squared away.
The one where he had to go and get the new points, the ON.
Yeah, factory
right?
points.
Yeah, the factory points, and then that solved the problem.
Yeah, he said the Chinese ones just wasn't cutting it.
Yeah, but you see, and he said it's the only difference he could see in it was the spring. Right?
Yeah.
He said they looked identical other than the spring. The spring was longer on the OEM one.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a quick video for my friend Jeff. Everyone was wondering, Jeff has Economy Power Kings, and the Smoking Kohler K series that I rebuilt. I'm with this new LumaFusion editor. I'm going to get the rest of the engine building going, the video, I should say. But I do have a video of it running in the tractor. I just wanted to share it with you guys. So hold on one second. That's the Power King that my engine went in, the one I rebuilt.
It turned out nice.
Yeah, it worked really well. He likes it.
Now, was this your machine or one that you were working on?
My customer. This is the Smoking Kohler series engine I rebuilt for him.
Yeah.
The problem he had was the ignition that was on it was the breakerless ignition, and it wasn't putting out any spark. So we changed it, or he changed it, to a points ignition by knocking out the lead plug in the block and putting a push rod in and points and battery and all that. So, but yeah, he likes it. He said it runs beautiful, revved up.
He must take that to some shows, right?
He pulls with it.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, garden tractor pulling. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I figured Jeff would like that.
I just want to say one thing to Michael there about welding it. Remember that when you're welding aluminum, you have to have a dedicated wire brush, and
But a stainless wire? What brush?
Yeah, stainless steel.
Stainless, not steel, not iron, not regular steel.
Because anything you add to that aluminum, cast aluminum, it's dirty already.
Yeah.
Anything you add to it, it's going to come back up in the weld all the time. You got to be able to keep that as clean as possible.
Yeah.
That's why you're getting all that.
Well, I know, like you were talking too, Hank, when you did the Kohler Courage series blocks, gouging the hell out of it just to get all the impurities out so you can get a good weld.
Yeah,
you got to take off so much material just to get a clean surface, or else it just keeps spitting at you.
Yeah.
Plus, in the casting process, there's always porosity in the casting too. Like it's not like a solid block that's been machined.
Right.
Well, the M series engine was after the K, and all that meant was it had the electronic ignition and not a breaker points ignition. The M series used a bigger shroud, a squared off shroud, where you had the transformer coil on top inside, not points in an external coil. The Magnum series, that's why it's called M. The K series versus the M. M series was great. The 16 horse though, yeah, of course 16. That one was a 14, a K321. They went up to the 16 with the K341, and they went up to an 18 horse with the K1 361. But the 18 horse was an overhead valve variant, and they actually used an overhead valve in the K361 in that orange type of tractor, the Economy Power Kings. So I've worked on a few of those as well. Pretty cool. I think Morton's saying he's got the M16 in his. You have the M16 in your errands? I know it's a 16 horse 341, but is it the M16 that doesn't have a battery ignition in it? Interesting. Yeah, Jeff, nice. That was a short hood Power King. Yep.
Yeah, didn't Terrell just get a Power King?
I think he had a Country Squire. Remember, there were 3 or 4 different brands that Economy made those four. Country Squire was one of them. Economy was one of them. There was a bunch of different names. Jim Dandy. There was one called Jim Dandy. They were all the basic same style of tractor, but the older Jim Dandies, some had Wisconsin engines, some had the old Briggs engine. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
That's what Michael's saying. You just got to watch it. You got to grind, and then don't use chlorinated solvents when you're cleaning it, and all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
You know, a die grinder, a stainless steel die grinder, is what you use to grind it out.
Yeah.
Don't use a regular grinding wheel. A die grind.
Yeah, you want to take it out in chunks. Yeah, you don't want to smush it into it. Yeah. Yep. I was going to say, speaking of alcohol, hello, Ian.
Hank, you're talking about like carbide burrs?
Yeah.
But anyway, let me throw the link out there. There's the link. Bingo. Oh, this guy's supposed to text me any second to come pick up that thrower. If he does, I'm just going to put you guys to the side. You can chat. I'll be back in 5 minutes. I just got to tell him. Yeah, you don't need me. Who the hell needs me?
You're muted. When you were muted, we didn't even know you were there.
I didn't know I was muted. There's a red dot. There's a red dot on this thing here. And when the red dot's on, I can talk. And I didn't realize I must have hit it.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if it's really cold in Klaus's shop or his coffee's really hot. I see.
It's really hot.
Yeah.
And it's not cold.
I think so.
I've got about 18 degrees out here now, so.
Where's that used motor oil you were drinking yesterday?
Well, I drank that yesterday.
Yeah.
That's it?
He's all lubed up, Hank.
I'm all looped up. Yep. Now it's Sunday night here. It's 10 minutes to 9 p.m. So there's no reason to continue with the old motor oil.
Well, we're almost 3 here. 3 p.m.
Yeah, we got 10 of 3. Yep.
So I've been a little busy today. I mean, I was yakking about the other day that I haven't seen a chainsaw since early fall, and all of a sudden, 2 chainsaws in. So, and one got the royal treatment, full carb rebuild and all, new fuel line, new filter.
Yeah.
So I just need to. I'm doing a video on it, so I don't. And I have to take it outside to run it, and I'm not going to run it at 10 to 9 p.m. because I do like my neighbors. So
Hey, Abel, you were talking about the keys and stuff. I guess you're a locksmith, hence the name.
Yeah.
Yeah. The key for the MTD Cub Cadet ignition, it only has like a single digit or a letter on it. It doesn't really have a number like you'd find on other things. So, but if you buy an MTD 5-prong ignition switch, it's that key that's in there. I can use a standard in-deck key, but this one has the serrated key in it.
This for a what? A Cub Cadet?
What? He's here?
Right.
All right, my guys, I'll be back. My guy's here.
Video. The number he was reading video, code number 4.
You're cutting in and out, Abel.
I say that the number he was reading off in the video when he was talking about the key switch and the key and stuff was the key code for that key.
Oh, okay. Because on the Cub Cadets, we've got a master key that starts, the one master key we've got, that's it. It starts everything.
Yeah, it does. And I can see I have an aftermarket one here. It's marked 1195. And man, do they look the same?
Yeah. No, we bought a master key, and
John Deere had regular keys, like regular lock keys early on.
Well,
and then I think Jake just went and bought some guy needed snowblower keys, and he ended up buying a ring of 10 off Amazon.
Take care, Morton.
Abel, hold on, William. Wayne was talking.
No, go ahead. What's Abel saying? Abel's cuts in and out sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Abel, talk, and let's hear if you're clear this time.
I said the number that's on the code on the head of the key, the number that he was showing in the video, is the key code. If I have that number, I can look it up on my computer, and I can cut the key and make it from scratch. You don't have to have any key. So that's the code number that tells what the cuts are in the lock.
Oh, okay. So you've got a key cutting machine?
Absolutely. I have a mobile truck full of that, and also a shop full of machines. Regular building.
John, you know all those car thefts that are going on in
I'm a full
Mississippi?
complete
Now you know
locksmith.
why.
Well, that mouse over. Look at
Easy to get a key cut.
In Indiana.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, Indiana. Oh, sorry, John. He's in Indiana.
It'll be down here in about 2 years. It'll be here. Don't worry. We're about that far behind.
I've had them though call me. I've had them call me from Kentucky and want me to come there to work, and I said, no, that's okay. I got enough to do in Indiana. You have to find somebody down there. They want me to have a helicopter so I can fly down.
Yeah.
Both keys to be the same, back door, front door, everywhere. And so I had a key cutter come over here, mobile key cutter, and he made up a bunch of keys. They were all right, but some of them you had to play with to get them to work, you know?
Yeah.
But like Anderson, he had a difficult time to make an Anderson one for the Anderson door.
Yeah.
Oh, I like those. That's one of my favorite doors to go out and work on.
Oh, yeah?
I get to charge a lot of money to work on those.
There you go, Hank. You got to fly
they
in
got
from
a
Indiana.
lot of pieces and parts.
Yeah.
So when they don't work,
Yeah,
when the Anderson door don't work, big parts in them.
yeah. Yeah, your internet, Abel, is terrible. Gotta say it. You keep on getting all broken up.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Jake's going to come back, give me shit for not getting anything done today, and I'm going to blame it on Ken.
Yeah,
Exactly.
well,
Yeah.
Hey,
They're not getting decided
all-
to have live today.
we all do that. We all do that. Blame
How
it on-
long was he off sick?
I think
No, he's off
It
working
might-
on,
it might
on the
be-
67 again.
No, how long was he off
or
sick?
something. I don't
3
know,
weeks.
but
You got 3 weeks
guys
to
is
make
fine
up.
and hear everybody else.
Do what you want to.
You explain that to him, Jonathan.
Tell him to call me.
Doesn't work that way.
I'll tell him.
I can't wait to see. Today if he fires it up today, he'll come back with the video of it running for me, so I can hear it. But he hasn't built the muffler system yet. But he's designing his own muffler system. He says there's not going to be a 67 Mustang out there on the road that's got this muffler system on it.
muffler system or headers?
Muffler system. So you've heard his truck, right? You heard the company truck in one of his videos where it just rumbles. Well, I got a funny feeling that this 67 is going to really rock the neighborhood.
Why?
And you can't, in Toronto, I don't know if you guys have got anything like this in the States, but no, that's in New York City. I think I saw it. They've got the noise cameras now that you get fined if your vehicle makes too much noise.
Wow.
And that's in New York City because of the traffic. So now they're going to start finding people with cars that are making too much noise.
Wow. Yeah, but the noise that cars make these days are,
That's the ones that are going to get fined.
they're not even
No, you wouldn't be able to drive a Harley downtown like in that area. You'll get fined.
Right. They passed me out on a highway over here. It's like I think a motorcycle's going by, but it's a car.
Yeah, it's one of those skidders, right? What do you call them? Drifter cars.
And they're weaving in and out of traffic. Oh man! But here in Connecticut now, they just the cops are going to be on the highway more often now. They're going to start doing their jobs and chasing them down.
Yeah, spring's here. Everybody wants to go fast.
Matt.
You're breaking up there, Abel.
I guess that means we can't go under. Huh?
It's like we're watching a Japanese Godzilla movie. Your mouth's moving after the words come out.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the Wi-Fi. No.
Klaus freeze or you doze off?
No, Klaus just thinking. Klaus just sitting there thinking.
Just don't mention oil.
No.
What?
Yeah.
We already went through it. We already went through oil.
Well, didn't the chubby butcher just get in touch with you about oil, Klaus?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
I told him to email you. Yeah.
I think he needs to stop warming up his truck by idling it. Get a block heater.
Yeah, that would do it. That would help get rid of that slap.
His problem, no, not his problem. The problem with those engines is that they are prone to piston slapping, and
Yeah.
if when they're cold. So the trick is to get them warm as fast as possible.
Yeah.
And idling your car, I know they do it because it's cold and they want some heat before they start driving, but it's not good for the motor. It really isn't.
Block heater's a good idea.
Yeah, block heater or some sort of, maybe sometimes you can install these little furnaces that supplies extra heat.
Yeah.
But once you start your car, drive it. Don't let it idle cold. And then go. I mean, and then if you talked about oil for it. I said it, sorry. And I can see he's not using what they actually do recommend for it. So a 0W20 full synthetic, just to minimize any wear during that piston slapping period.
Hey,
Yeah.
Randy.
I think that's the way to go. Don't cheap out on that, especially not on those engines. They're finicky.
Bill.
Yeah, no stunt racing around here. They confiscate your vehicle if you're going so fast above the speed limit. That's it. It's impounded and you get to buy it back.
Too much of it going on. And I remember about 6-7 years ago, they used to be on the highway all the time, the cops, and with their lights on, so you see them, they're not hiding. All of a sudden, they're not even around anymore. There used to be helicopters and everything else.
Yeah, but everybody wanted to defund them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Forget it. Get with the program here. They're here to help, not to,
right.
They're not here to create problems. They're here to help the public.
Yeah. And you'll be happy when he's around when, an accident happens, whatever.
Yeah, but the ones that wanted to defund them were the first ones to call them when they needed them, right?
Yep.
And then they want them there right away. Like, I need you here right away.
Well, ever since they stopped hiding everywhere, now you see them driving on the roads, But I always said, get them out of those shopping markets. They're three abreast, talking. Go do that job. You're paid for it, And then they're talking in this town. They were talking about hiring more. And this guy was running for mayor or whatever. And I said, you know what? Get them to work. You don't need any more. Just get the ones you got working. Yeah.
For the first time ever in my area, they are struggling to hire police.
A lot of people
Nobody
don't
wants to do it now. It's all
nobody
out.
wants.
And
Yeah,
everybody,
you're right, John. Yeah.
Every time you turn on YouTube, there's a video showing an officer doing his job, but they're gonna make something bad out of it.
Yeah.
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 You can't win for losing, no matter
And-
how good you do your job.
And isn't it true that they're having a hard time recruiting people to join the military now too? Like they're having serious issues on recruiting people because they just don't want to do it anymore.
Bring
Yep.
back the draft.
And Pat's right too. Doesn't matter how many they arrest, the judges don't do their jobs.
That's the big problem, is what's happened with the legal system on no bail. Like,
Yeah, and if
just
they
letting
do
them
their
out.
job, then Department of Corrections doesn't do their job,
yeah,
and paroles and lets them go.
yeah, I can see these police officers getting upset when they arrest somebody, and next thing they know, they watch them walking out of the jail, free as a bird,
Oh yeah,
just to do it all over again, and they've already got something like 10 or 12 warrants.
you're right.
You
Pat.
know, it's ridiculous.
It happens here too. You know.
Yeah, it's
Most of
ridiculous.
the time, it's prosecuting attorney. He'll take the case and look at it and put a price tag on it. And if you pay for it, all right, you can leave.
Yeah.
Really? You didn't even see the judge, you know?
Bail doesn't exist here.
No.
No bail.
Nope.
Really?
No bail.
Sounds like Russia or China to me.
So
No,
what did Jerry Maguire say? Show me the money.
Show me the money. Yeah.
No, the judge decides whether you stay in prison or
You get out.
there is no. You can't pay your way out. If you're a flight risk, or if you in some way they believe you can interfere with an investigation done by the police, you're staying in jail.
What are we talking about?
Jail.
Jail, please.
Experience with or
No.
I've only been to jail once. Not
Yeah,
as
me
long
too.
as you think.
John's been there a few years.
John used to run the joint.
Yeah.
I had my time.
Yeah.
It was so funny. It was Saturday night, and we've been out, and where we were, there was a fight, and for some reason, the guy with the two black eyes, when he finally came around, and the cops were there, and the cops asked him who did it, and the idiot pointed at me, and it wasn't me. I did this, but it wasn't me doing him. And all of a sudden, these two, they just hauled me down, and apparently I made too much of a racket, so they just threw me in a cell. Sleep tight. See you tomorrow. Good night.
was that here or over there, Klaus?
No, that was here. That was here.
Damn cops.
No, I mean, come on. It's Saturday night at 4 a.m. and they've been listening to drunk idiots all night.
John Close likely did it.
Huh?
Yeah, he's got those shifty eyes.
We've heard,
I've seen a lot of
we've
people
heard
like that.
stories about
No,
Close when he was
I
younger.
didn't do Hawkeye. I didn't do Hawkeye because Hawkeye was, they were so black he couldn't see with shit. He just pointed at me. I did his friend, but the friend didn't want to say anything because he asked for it. So this guy, he just pointed at me and said, "No, it wasn't me, dude.
Take care of
Yeah.
him.
I was basically doing someone else." So yeah,
You troublemaker.
no. I
Can't
behave
believe
nice.
on a stream with such riffraff.
Yeah.
Criminal element.
So you think business is going to be good this year, gentlemen?
Yeah,
It's-
we'll see. And here it's election year, so who knows what's going to go on this year.
I think I'm going to see a shift away from petrol-powered walk-behind mowers.
To the electric,
Well, I'm not going to see the electric.
the battery? No.
I can't fix them. I mean, I
No,
can
we're
sharpen
not
the
touching.
blade. I can sharpen the blade, but I'm not going to. I mean, maybe the drive system needs a little dab of grease now and then, but other than that, no. I'm going to see more tractors.
I don't know. Those push mowers, I was at the Home Depot yesterday, and last year it was nothing but battery up there. This year there's a lot more gas-powered ones.
Yeah, because they couldn't sell the battery ones, Hank.
Right.
Because a lot of people don't want them.
But when
Well,
I
just do
talk
what
to,
Dan said.
sorry,
Well, I
John.
could see somebody with a very small yard, like according to Mick in the UK, they've got small lawns.
Yeah.
Perfect for a battery operated mower. It's not going to go dead on you. It's, but around here, like, they're just not going to cut it.
No, I mean, I can see that Skill is now coming out, that tool company that I cooperate with. They're coming out with a 40-volt regular mower with self-propel. And you got 2 batteries. I mean, a regular small yard like mine, it'll do fine. I'm going to test it here later in the season. I think it'll do fine.
What, you're going to buy one?
No, I just test it.
Oh, okay.
He's a representative still.
No, I'm not. I just get paid.
So they're sending one to you to do a review on? Good.
And also a 40. John, your trimmer, that's a 40 volt.
40 volt, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got the trimmer blower combination pack.
Yeah.
The trimmer did well as far as what I bought it for, to trim around those larger campaign signs during the election. But we tried it on the yard and it lasted about a quarter of the yard.
Yeah. But do you got the big battery or the small battery?
The big battery.
The 5 amp?
I think it's 5 amp. 5 amp.
Yeah.
I'll look when I go back out the shop and check and report back in, sir.
Well, it should do better, actually. It should. I mean, I've got the small 20 volt with just a regular battery, 5 amp small battery, and I can do my yard 3 or 4 times over.
Yeah.
On that same
my
charge.
yard, haven't you?
You're right, Dan.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
You
got like 3 acres.
The,
Yeah.
A lot of
the
yard.
original batteries last 3 years. That's about it. 3 to 3.5 years, then you need new batteries.
And
But I
people
do like
over
it.
here-
I use it for Klaus.
Over here, I think the
Sorry?
replacement battery is 485 Canadian.
Wow.
that's
I know
a
that-
little-
But for what I bought it for Klaus, it worked just fine.
Yeah.
The Toro battery, 60 volt, they're real expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. And batteries are expensive. And I think that's what people don't understand, that you got to buy a machine that's fit for the job you have for it. And if you got a stamp of a yard, yes, it'll do great. But if you're mowing grass this tall, no, it won't do great. It's as simple as that.
Here's a question for all of you guys that you won't be able to answer.
Holy smokes.
What's that?
They're proud of them batteries.
A question I have for you guys that I know you won't be able to answer. Where is your local lithium ion recycling depot?
At work.
Oh, you got one at work, Kenny?
Oh yeah, we do all that stuff because we deal with it. In my shop, where our carpenters sit, we actually have a battery drop-off center, and it's separated with lithium ion, NiCad, lead acid. Yeah, we actually have a program we participate in.
Oh,
and
good.
The state will actually pick them up. You know what I mean? And
Now, where you're storing those used lithium ion batteries,
it's a special container. No, it's
right.
a special
That's fire resistant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's totally sealed, no oxygen in or out.
Yeah.
Here at our local recycling center, which is run by the county, which is run by the state, doesn't matter. I can turn in lithium batteries. I have to separate lithium batteries from lead acid batteries. Same thing with light bulb. If they're LED or if they're fluorescent or incandescent. I can't say that word.
Incandescent.
With a filament.
Yeah.
And they simply they sort it out and they take care of it. I don't know what they do with it.
I've got to take them to our hazardous waste site.
Yeah.
Let them deal with it.
Here they'll take anything but radioactive materials and asbestos.
Well, what really kills me is they say that 90 to 95% of a lithium ion battery is recyclable. But what I want to know is how much are they recycling?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Like, are these things just going into great big piles someplace, or are they actually doing something? Because I hear the cost of recycling a lithium ion battery is too expensive.
Here, there's even and the government's been putting it on the counties that they can't, just because they can't recycle it, they cannot put it to landfill.
Yeah, but look what it says here. This is in my state battery recycling website. It says the electrolyte is lithium salt. Lithium batteries that are fully discharged are not hazardous and can be safely placed in the garbage. However, they can be recycled as well. But they say if it's fully discharged, no voltage, you put it in your regular trash.
Yeah. Now, when's the last time you put an ohm meter or a voltmeter to a lithium ion battery and seen it zero?
Yeah, I know.
Like, there's not one around. Normally, when they're gone, one of the cells has gone bad. The other cells are still carrying full voltage. The one that's no good is carrying below the 4 volts that it needs to recharge. So they still got to charge to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a website in the US called Call to Recycle. It's all about, everything recycling batteries. So Call to Recycle.
Yeah, I heard in the States they've got a couple of big companies, 2 big companies, I think, that are supposed to be recycling the lithium ion batteries.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No,
Dirt Rider.
It is.
Dirt Rider said he had to leave the stream. His son was in pursuit of a motorcycle in front of his house. He had to go out and watch the chase. Then he apparently got lost, or the guy lost him, and he came back and visited with his dad.
Yeah, in our state, if you want to ship them in, they'll actually ship you a container to safely ship lithium ion and other
Look at
batteries.
that. Yeah, Jeff, they can be recycled.
Yep. No, I mean, used lead acid batteries, I get money for those.
Yeah, I get $5
because of
for a small. For a
it's cheaper. It's cheaper to use the lead acid batteries. Put them on a skid, bring them to a dump, and they'll give you by the pound, which is a lot better than $5 a battery.
Yeah.
I buy my batteries from, it's the local dealer. He's got a good agreement with the battery company. And whenever I return a battery, I get a discount for every battery I buy. And they don't care if it's small, large, big, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They just give you a discount per battery. If it's intact, they'll pay out. And it's like 20% off the battery I buy. So.
And Tommy's right. He says he's seen his first Husky battery mower for sale in a charity shop. He says he suspects it's first of many. Lots for sale. And then when they're for sale, guess what? They don't include the battery because they've got all the other equipment that needs that battery. They just want to dump that lawnmower.
But I think Wayne, it's a little bit like some of the other new things that come on. First of all, for the homeowner, you get all these crappy products. They're crappy batteries. They're crappy machines. All of a sudden, companies like Makita or DeWalt or Milwaukee, whatever, they sort of wake up and say, okay, we got to put something on market that actually works for an extended period of time at a reasonable price.
Yeah.
So I think we'll see more battery mowers at a better quality coming out.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I will see less push mowers this year. I guarantee it. I mean, I've seen one mower with a quantum engine last year. One.
Yeah, and we got all kinds of them with the quantums over here.
Yeah, remember we have them, but people don't want them fixed. They throw them out and they buy something else, usually Chinese.
Yeah.
Is that the Big Dog Control Center looking at horses? That's a nice horse right there, Hank.
That's a nice dog you got there. Oh, that's a horse. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're looking at the horse. All right.
Of course.
Who would send you such stuff?
Of course, the horse, Hank.
That's what he used to say. Wilbur.
Mr. Ed.
Mr. Ed.
All right, I gotta hit it, guys. I got a bunch of
Okay,
crap
guys.
to get going.
And
I
it's
just
about
figured I'd come on and say, an hour and 45 minutes. We had a little bit of time.
I got to get back to work before Jake gets home.
Yeah. All right.
Make it look like I did something today.
There you go.
See you,
take care,
gentlemen.
guys.
All right.
Take care.
Y'all have a
See you
good
later.
evening. Thank y'all.
Take it easy,
Enjoyed
man.
it.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Everybody have a good one.
See ya.
Y'all be good.